Bet y'all didn't see this one coming. We talk about power today, gang. So I usually don't watch regular TV shows ever, but my homie Josh and his brother Matthew were saying like, hey gang, this is the best TV show they ever watched. I think you will really like it. And usually when the guys recommend something, it's good most of the time. So I was just like, fuck it. What I gotta lose? And it was really good, gang. 50 really got a whole like nigga cinematic universe out here. That's really crazy to me. We gonna cover OG Power in this video, and if this video gets enough love, I'll follow up with a Power Book 2 video when it finishes. So make sure you hit the like, subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to show me that you want that. So without further ado, let's talk about it. So, we do things right here. We start off with the story. Gang. To keep it simple, Power definitely has an amazing storytelling style and a very unique story that you aren't going to find anywhere else. Our story follows the St. Patrick's family, with the main protagonist being James St. Patrick, aka Ghostt, the character that I love and hate the most in this show. Ghostt is a big-time drug dealer in New York, and his base of operations is this nightclub called Truth. Him and his childhood homie named Tommy, aka Mr. Every time you see him, he's probably snorting cocaine, are going through their regular regimen, but these niggas are drug dealers. So you know it's a bunch of bullshit that come with that life, and basically that bullshit that come with that life is basically the whole plot of the show, to keep it simple. So stuff like law, disloyalty, betrayal, treason, pretty much everything you can think of in that realm gets explored in Power. It's extremely engaging though. The main reason it's so engaging because niggas be lying. Like, they be lying to they day ones like it ain't shit. It's damn near disgusting how much they lie in this show, and then it make me thankful to hear the truth when you hear it. Also, it's engaging because Power gotta be one of the most unpredictable shows I've ever seen. I truthfully don't think that I can get bored watching this shit. Gang, I'll never get tired of watching the police fail to lock this nigga Ghostt up for numerous devious acts that he committed. And when I say devious acts, I mean Ghostt has done some pretty diabolical shit. Like, bro, this nigga Ghostt was at a grief meeting with Tasha after Raina died, and he overhears this one couple talking about their kid being killed by a drunk driver. This nigga Ghostt was like, interesting. And you know what this nigga Ghostt did instead of minding his own damn business? You probably guessed right. He took matters into his own hands and went to go smoke that nigga the exact same night, bro. Folks ain't had shit to do with nothing, and Ghostt already had heat on him. Did he deserve to die? Probably. But folks, this is just some random unnecessary ass killing, vote. The law really be getting shit on in this show. They be getting shit on. Not only do they be getting their own people smoke trying to investigate the St. Patrick's, but they also be getting embarrassed in court by these defense attorneys and the witnesses. So essentially, they people be over here dying for absolutely no reason. And they still haven't learned in Power Book 2. It's really funny to watch them fail. It's wild in this show too, because a lot of people die in this show. Kind of get used to it after a while, but sometimes it be some deaths that be like, hey, yo, excuse me? We're going to get into that in the character section, but like on some real shit, don't think you know what's about to happen in Power, because you really don't. I appreciate the story structure too. Although we follow Ghostt for most of the plot, I appreciate how Power branches out and shifts the focus onto other characters. Characters I really enjoyed like 2-Bit, Proctor, Kanan, and Tommy all got a lot of screen time, and it didn't feel like they were forced in front of me. And it felt like they were all written so well into the main plot that I don't mind when the episode focus shifts to them, which is really cool. A lot of shit happens in this story though. There's a lot of moving parts in the background. There's a lot of shit to keep track of. And there's a lot of times where characters will like disappear for a while, but they'll just come right back. Like there's this whole thing going on Angie and Ghostt. There's this corruption in the attorney's office, Ruiz being a fake informant. Sax try to do whatever he can to put away this nigga Ghostt, whether it's illegal or legal. Felipe Lobos being the connector, having Mike Sandoval as the inside man in the district attorney's office. That nigga Greg Knox was pussy whipped and got way too close to Angela. And once you get way too close to Angela, you get closer to Ghostt and Tommy. If you get closer to Ghostt and Tommy, you're the feds. There's only two options. You're either getting finessed and embarrassed, or you just getting smoked. And I think we know what happened to Greg. There's this whole thing with Andre trying to betray his way to the top, work with the Jimenez, and try to double dip and work with the feds as a plan B. I'm so glad that Andre went out the way he did. Shout out to that nigga 2-Bit and that nigga Spanky for turning that nigga into barbecue brisket. All this is happening while Kanan brought Tariq under his wing, and Kanan and Ghostt were fighting. Kanan and Ghostt had this fight. Ghostt beat him up, and then burned the building down that he was in with that nigga in it. This nigga Kanan coming back from the dead, and he's still bitching Andre, still trying to get revenge on Ghostt. But then he got this crazy ass cousin he working with named Jukebox, and she's trying to kill Tariq. Ghostt going to jail and shit. He killed a nigga in jail, but there's this dude that seen him do it that just so happens to be Tommy's dad, but he's working with the feds. He's trying to blackmail Ghostt. Like, it's a crazy amount of shit going on. And sometimes, like, there's always something brewing in the background, and it's actually hard to keep up with sometimes. I love what they did at the end, too, when Ghost dies, giving us a different perspectives of, like, the people that could have possibly killed him, and then showing us what actually happened, and showing the last moments between him, Tariq, and Tommy was fire. They handled the story phenomenally well in this show. It's extremely engaging. Like, I remember when me and my homies was watching, and the episode we in, and we had already agreed on stopping after this episode, we would be like, yeah, I don't like when that episode ended. Hell no, we watch it one more. Like, this show is really easy to binge. The episodes are an hour long, but it doesn't feel like they are. Now, move on to the characters and the character interactions. The character writing and power is simply amazing. It just hurts that you cannot like anyone in this show because they damn near gonna die. Like, dead ass. That is not an exaggeration. Niggas die in power as much as Piccolo yell necessarily in Dragon Ball Z. Like, it get real in this show. But I digress. Let's start off with Ghost. Ghost was a cool ass nigga with his dead ass. Ghost was a lot of things. He was savage, he was smart, he was a great businessman, he was a great father, and he at least wanted to be a good person. He might not have achieved that last one, but at least we saw him try to go to Bishop Big Nigga to try to get some help or some shit. Side note, we have a lot of names for this nigga now. Me and my homies come up with a new name for him every time we see him. Bishop Big Nigga, Pastor Pancakes, Deacon Diabetes, Teacher Swinkies, Reverend Reese's. We was really on his ass for no reason. Ghost was a really well-balanced character because for every positive thing you can say about him, you could definitely say some negative shit about him. But he's so raw at some of this negative shit that it made me appreciate his character even more. One thing he's not good at is cheating. Not because he got caught. It's because of who he cheated with and how big of a downgrade that was from Tasha. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. Ghost is a ruthless killer, a reward-winning finesser, a master prestige liar. Ghost can lie and play his role so well, he can really jump in that role damn near like instantaneously. It's really impressive. Ghost lies so well that he could damn near convince you that the sky isn't blue while you staring at that motherfucker. His ass a comedian too. Up and pole on your son is crazy work, but he funny as hell for waking Tariq up like that. It was justified though. It's wild because Ghost really wanted to get out the game, and damn near everyone hated that nigga for it. It's really crazy how ironic that is up when you continue on and watch Power Book 2 and see that Tariq wants to do the same. He ends up facing that exact same backlash. It's almost like him and Tariq are the same person, which they are, and Tariq doesn't believe that. Speaking of Tariq, let's talk about this nigga, gang. In OG Power, I think I can speak for everyone under the sound of my voice when I say we hated this nigga, gang. I've never been so annoyed with a character in my life. Bro, Tariq was living a good ass life. He went to a nice school. He lived in a fucking penthouse. He had all the video games he wanted, all the clothes and shoes that he wanted. He wasn't starving, none of that. But he swear his father never did anything for him. Gang, I've never seen a nigga try to get it out the mud from a penthouse until I seen Tariq. He had everything he could ever want. His father provided so much so just because he didn't want him to live the life that he lived. Which, you know, is the role of the father to begin with, but Tariq still wanted to be a street nigga for some reason. Excuse me? Are you providing for me? Nigga, fuck you, dad. Like, goofy ass. Not only does he hate his dad and cause a bunch of chaos for no reason, he's the sole reason that Raina died and he got his sister killed. Granted, she did just pop out and say that her pops is gonna kill that nigga Ray just to his face, and she ain't got no business telling him to his face. But if Tariq wasn't messing with Kanan to begin with, shit would have never even got there to begin with. Tariq gave Andre the heads up and let him know that they were trying to kill him for no reason. Still don't understand why he did that. And this nigga even set up Kanan, and he's the reason that Kanan is dead. So Tariq was really on some whole shit this entire show. He still carries the hate for his father in book 2. He's nothing like this in book 2 at all. He's actually just like his dad in book 2, which is very ironic as well, but Tariq is actually that nigga in Power Book 2. Didn't like him in OG Power though. Tariq ain't the only one that was bogus as hell, cause I hated Tasha as well. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a mother, so I don't know how much motherly love can affect your judgment, but gang, she sides with Tariq way too much. I understand partially though, because once Tariq got too far into the game, then at that point it's like, fuck it, at least let me teach him how to do things so he doesn't get himself killed or arrested. I get that. But not looking at Tariq as what he is, which is a little ungrateful ass and unnecessarily overly rebellious ass nigga, it's wild. Like, not looking at him like that is wild. She had every reason to feel a way about Ghost cheating, but blaming him about absolutely everything, like putting everything, all the problems on Ghost specifically, that's fucked up. That's very wrong. Ghost was the one thinking about the family by keeping them away from that life while trying to get out that life and live comfortably still. Tasha was the main one bashing him because he wanted wanted to get out the drug game just because he changed his mind on the being the biggest drug dealer in New York vibe that she wanted. And it's wild that she telling her son to do the exact same thing in book 2. By the end of OG Power, I genuinely hate Tasha. Strictly because she never takes responsibility for anything she does. And she literally put everything on Ghost, and she really convinced herself that all her problems would go away if Ghost went away. And if you watch Power Book 2, you know that's necessarily not actually what happened. Now, let's get to the goats of the show. Let's start off with Tommy. Tommy got some issues, man, but he definitely funny as hell. Folks really just wake up, get high on his own supply, and just be ready to go smoke shit. Like, he done some wild shit. Like, he done burned niggas alive, he done ran niggas over, then reversed and ran them over again. Bro, he killed his own fiance. Like, Tommy is like an insane nigga. But I do feel very bad for him because he wants his own family, and every time he tries to get his own family, he loses them. Shorty wanted to be too deep into the game, try to get Ghost killed, so he damn near had to get rid of her. He linked up with his dad after his years of his mom were hiding him from him, and he finds out that he's working with the feds, and he ended up killing him with a little persuasion from Ghost. I ain't gonna forget that. Ghost kind of set that up. Then to top it all off, he gets really cool with Lakeisha and her son Cash, but that didn't last long when Tasha finds those informant papers she signed, and then she killed her. Everything he knows or loves gets taken away from him, and it seemed like all of his attachments get in the way of the game. So I completely understand why he ends up killing Angela. Tommy felt like, okay, since everything I wanted was a liability and a hindrance to the game and got taken away from me, I'm going to take away what I think is a liability and hindrance in the game myself. It may not have been the smartest move because she was the only inside man they had in the attorney's office, but it's a move that he made. Tommy is a great character, though. You love seeing him on his savage shit, but you know and realize like there's a lot of pain behind it, so you definitely still feel bad for him a little bit. Kanan is our next psychopath. It's crazy to think that 50 Cent got his own show. He got a role on his own show playing 50 Cent. Kanan is a wild nigga, but he showed a lot of sympathy for Tariq. Like, it's kind of wild that he did. Even at the time where there's no clear like benefit of him like getting anything out of it, still did it. And it got him killed. Like, that's wild. So he had a really like big soft spot for him. Kanan did some awful shit too. Definitely killed Sean. He killed his own son. He's killed numerous amount of people. He killed Q-Dubs. He set up Roller and had Ghost kill him. He used Tariq initially to get leverage on Ghost, and he also saved him to gain his trust to have even more leverage on Ghost. Kanan was using everyone in this show for a revenge plot, and Ghost did him filthy, so I don't really blame him for taking this path. I really enjoyed every moment that he was on the screen. Well, almost every moment. There was this one moment where they put something really crazy on my screen, and that's something that I really didn't need to see. If you watch Power, you know what I'm talking about. But Kanan overall, he was really cool. A lot of people don't talk about this nigga, but I genuinely think 2-Bit is a hilarious ass nigga. It don't even be what he's saying, for he just be sitting there looking funny as hell. He just be looking like he up to no good at all. It's crazy because 2-Bit probably one of the most solid niggas in this show. 2-Bit remind me of like the bad kid in grammar school. They just put in special ed. Like, he ain't even had no mental disability or no shit like that. They just put him in there because he ain't do shit and he ain't want to do shit. Like, yeah, 2-Bit did do some fucked up shit. Like, he killed his homie and he'd be robbing Tariq in book 2 randomly. But 2-Bit be helping niggas out. Like, when they don't have any other options left, 2-Bit be there. He helped Ghost rob that fundraiser. He let Tommy know that Spanky snitched. He even helps Tariq out in the future. 2-Bit is actually extremely smart too, and I really fuck with how he carries himself. 2-Bit cool as hell. Man, RIP to my nigga Proctor, gang. His death hit really different because Proctor was easily one of my favorite characters in the show. Proctor was so cool. He was extremely smart, and despite his appearance, Proctor was a savage. Like, he helped Tommy dispose of that body of that one dude that had that recording. He watched his daughter's mother overdose right before his eyes, and he didn't get help for her at all just because they were in a custody battle. When I saw this, I was like, yo. I was like, damn, this nigga Proctor wild as hell. It's crazy because he finesses the system so well, and he's a criminal defense attorney, but he's not afraid to be a criminal himself sometimes. Proctor really be getting his hands dirty. And he's extremely loyal and extremely genuine too. For RIP my nigga, man. RIP Proctor, folks. Raina showed me that I'm still cursed. So my homies be telling me to stop liking characters because every character I choose to like, they end up dying. And it's pretty much been 100%. Like, it's really insane. So I think when me and my homies was watching OG Power, my homie Josh asked me that damn question again. He was like, so Vaughn, who do you like so far? And my nigga, I shit you not, damn near every character I like has died. I was like, yeah, folks, Proctor, Ghost, Kanan, Tommy, and Raina. The main reason I like Raina was the only innocent person left in this entire show. She lied a little bit, but she ain't did nothing crazy. And of course she ended up dying, gang. Like, it was just an icing on this bogus ass cake for. They just told me to stop liking characters. I'm like, damn, bro. The characters are handled really well in Power, and they're all pretty dynamic. So there's a lot of variety when it comes to these characters, and everybody did an amazing job in their roles. Now let's move on to looks, presentation, and music. The cinematography in this show is really solid. I really like all the drone shots. They did the color grading really well. Some of these shots are really creative. The shot at the end when Ghost dies is really creative. Like, that is a really creative ass shot. As far as the music, it's decent. There's some recognizable songs in there here and there, but there's only one song that I want to hear, and that's the song they play when something big happens. It's a running joke between me and my homies. Every time we hear that, they made a monster out of me, we know somebody either got smoked, they received the worst news ever, or they going their ass to jail. No in between. So every time something happen to me nowadays, I'm just gonna start singing that shit. I drop a video of that bitch getting no views. Every time I get hit with a random precision in Warzone. My OG having a bad day, she started annoying me. I just take my L for the day and you feel me? I really like what they did with the intro theme during Ghost's death scene though. That little slow-mo shot of him falling to the true floor, and they remixed Big Rich Town to slow it down. That shit was fire. That was so raw. I really love what they did right there. But in all seriousness, this show looks good and sounds extremely good. Overall, I genuinely think that OG Power is an amazing show. The storytelling in this series is crazy good, with all the moving parts in the background that seamlessly go into the main story. Characters that you don't see for a long ass time come back. Like, they don't forget about anyone in this show. They did a crazy ass job at building a bunch of subplots that involve other characters, and they brought it all together perfectly to set up the next book as well. If you've been thinking about watching Power, nigga, give it a try. And if you watch Power, please move on to book 2, because that shit might be better than, it's possibly better than book 1. Probably gonna drop a video on book 2 when it finishes as well, so look out for that. But that's all for me, man. As always, man, have a great day. Peace.